June 12th, 2022. I'm watching CBS 2 this morning. Actually, CBS New York, just Channel 2 local news. And they have a story on about this athlete who was caught in a rip current in the local Long Island area. And she wound up drowning. Her mom is doing something with the city of Garden City. Their instructions, though, because I mentioned the other day, it feels like being caught in like a rip current, but a societal rip current of sorts. Their suggestion is that if you get pulled away from shore in a rip current, to swim parallel to avoid the rip current and then diagonal with the waves back to shore. So in some whatever, I guess that could be considered what I'm doing at the moment to avoid more rip currents, since it's already wasted 4 decades of my life with no anything useful or productful. And I'm still just treading water, it feels like. So there's this, and then it goes into they are having there's some kind of veteran tie-in, which from my couch potato stance and having no access to television, I had a mother and a father, and I had people who could have, if they knew how, could have made introduction to certain things that may have been useful knowledge, but that connection was never made. And now I'm looking at the pieces of what is this military? Like, I've heard of it, I don't really see it. And then how are they dressing it in a theoretical in action in like almost if the world stage of life, when it's represented by the U.S. in this one pattern Union Jack? What does it actually look like in the local area? Like, what have I missed? Like, I've seen the word. I know that you're supposed to show them a lot of respect. Not quite sure what it translates out to, because I have not found the connection that I would have liked to have made with I'll respect you and you respect me and let's work together in some unity way, which is a win-win situation, which is what the humans, they're all talk about, but I don't really see it going in action in such manner. And so then they show these people in their camouflage or their fatigues, they're drill sergeants with hats, and they're trying to recruit soldiers at this whatever outdoor event today for this U.S. Army, which I'm looking at and I'm like, well, are they the only recruiters available? Is that why? Because, I mean, I don't know how much that, I mean, like the weatherman said a while back during Fleet Week that he wanted to join the Army like his dad because it was the most incredible experience. My grandfather was part of the Army. I would have, but again, where's the introduction? It was I supposed to. Is that it's not a girl thing, but I mean, whatever. And it's better than being ripped out in a current, left out to drown. So it's, and then I'm seeing who they are, because they already told him that he wasn't allowed in because they had reached their capacity of some sort. But now they're recruiting in this day and age, and I see the group that's recruiting, and I'm like, now why are they allowed to recruit, but they don't recruit people like John or myself, or even make themselves available to have a consultation as to possible entryway? same level of recruiting soldier, I believe that was at the gate in the high school that I was at, that caused whatever, in whatever, in like lack of enlightenment bestowed upon me and respectful things, and part of the cause of why Rip Current even was able to do what it did and drag me into 40 years of nothing except for pain, abuse, and a whole lot of other things.
Collaborating on educating kids with the American Red Cross and National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association with classes beginning in Garden City.
You want to float, and you don't want to swim back to shore against the rip current. You want to swim out of the rip, parallel to shore along the beach, and then follow breaking waves back to shore at an angle.
Demora's fight got the attention of Nassau County legislator Josh Lafazan.
I'm filing a bill called Alexandra's Law in honor of Alexandra's incredible memory and her legacy.
Besides county-wide classroom education, the bill would require rip current danger signs and flags on beaches.
There needs to be conspicuous signage, conspicuous flags. People need to be warned.
The International Life-Saving Federation says rip currents represent the major cause of fatalities and rescues at surf beaches around the world.
My goal is to spread it throughout the entire island because, as you know, we're surrounded by water.
More than 100 people a year die in rip currents in this country.
This is what you would want us to do. And this is why I'm doing this.
Alexandra's Law could be ready for a vote next month. In Nassau County, Long Island, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
Teaching students how to recognize.
So now, here we are. This is the part about the drill sergeants. And they also mention about this recruiting effort that they have going on. Again, the weather person had mentioned in a couple of weeks, whenever Fleet Week was, and that he wanted to join but was not able to. I don't know why, and I don't know what his heritage is, but it's just a frightening event, like watching this, in the sense of I've had it happen in my own instance as well. And who investigates that? Their recruiting practices, and if there's some form of swarm going on to preclude and exclude healthy, willing candidates from reaching the levels of service that they want to actively participate in, but seem to be barred or denied somehow by some greater force or however the words work.
On the weather, John Elliott live in Clifton, New Jersey. Let's see what's going on there now. Every time we go to him, he's either on a tank or showing us what's going on. Oh, now we have some soldiers.
I know. Well, I gotta tell you, you will appreciate this, Cindy. So we have some drill sergeants here. This is all Army Reserves. Drill Sergeant Barnett.
Yes.
What do they say in the Army?
If it ain't raining, it ain't training.
There you go. If it ain't raining, we ain't training. I just learned this. Drill sergeant, drill sergeant, drill sergeant, drill sergeant, drill sergeant, drill sergeant. What's different is the hat, which is, I think, very cool. But I want to ask you, if I may, what do you love about being a drill sergeant?
Molding soldiers.
And you're deadly serious about it.
Of course.
So now somebody who has direction. So looks like she has direction. She likes to help other people. She likes to build them up in spirit and ability. So why was my version of that withheld from my ability to access in New York is really my question. Because in my life frame, there's been none of my version of this. Anywhere.
Let me ask you this. Why is it important for you guys to be here today supporting the tank pull?
Just people get a chance to come here, and hopefully we can get some more soldiers that we can mentor and mold into today's Army.
And they don't know what they're missing. I know my friends in the Air Force. I know my friends in the Coast Guard. There are needs, real needs, but there are so many benefits of a life of service. You've been in 20 years?
Yes.
Did you start when you were 8?
1994.
God bless you. Thank you all for your service. I know I took you away, so you head down there and good luck. I just need a bigger brim on my hat. Hey, let's talk about the brain right now. So we have...
I am a mother of 4 boys. Would have no idea what the difference between U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Army, or the Air Force even is. No idea what this difference of National Guard is. No idea how it's constructed in where do you even enter in order to have this relationship with the children that are North American or born in North America, and this service industry of keeping oneself occupied, like on a path, and within some having a voice and a say in things. Like all of that, even the simplest things were taken away from my ability. My father, I don't know what his story is because I never really asked, or he never really mentioned, but there's this gap and this changeover that seems to be like really dangerous when, for our situation, when I examine it, but again, don't know quite where to even begin because nothing's really been defined how it works and where pathway to success or even pathway to entry is in order to find whatever. I mean, like the words are even, I'm losing at words at the moment to even build this construct of safety net, being that the rip current has pulled us so far away from even being able to walk at this point on the shoreline that it's just like treading water. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.